Hello, this is Jared. I'm playing Timberborn. This is my second time trying to play the game. Default settings for everything. And I'm going to see how far I get. I felt I did not make it far last time, so here goes. This is my second time playing it, so I'll call this 2-ton and see what happens. First thing is the tutorial suggests I find several spots to start collecting wood. Food is the problem I had last time, so I'm starting off collecting some berries, but I'm going to have to switch to something else. I chose to put 6 houses together like this, and last game I learned you can build on top of buildings, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to do that. Build a farmhouse and place the research science points. I know the locations around the base isn't going to provide enough wood, so I expanded out here and getting my beavers to collect wood here. So this was a shot in the dark. I had the idea that if I put the water wheel more in the center, I'd get more power, and it actually makes a significant difference. This may be a game changer as I can produce more planks quickly. So I am in fact impressed. I have a lumber mill and I can see it is producing planks much faster than in the last game. So this is a nice bonus for this playthrough. In the last game I had the idea of diversifying the different types of crops. Now I'm just concentrating on carrots. I hope my beavers like carrots. So I don't waste much time until I build a forester and I plant pines. I'm only going to build pines or plant pines from this point as I don't understand the other plants just yet. So I am entering my first drought. I have a lot of water storage to pumping places. I have what I feel is a healthy amount of food, 350 or so, almost 200 units of water. So I think I should be fine for the first one. So I'm quite paranoid with food. You can see I've got 3 farmhouses there, and the idea is the moment that crops are available, I want them to be able to go out en masse and collect them. I've made it past the first drought. I also have discovered that I can destroy this tile here, and that's going to bring water in. But as that happens, it actually expands the area that it can grow things. So that's actually a pretty cool concept of the game, actually. Quite worried about food as that was my failure last time, so using every area over here for that. Forester in a second location, I'm experimenting with maple seeds. So hopefully this goes well. They take longer to grow, but you get more wood. I am not growing food at expensive water. I know water is one of the things that if you don't have during a drought or any point for that matter, your beavers die. So yes, very much focused on food, but focusing heavily on water too. So, and also putting the storage close to the water. I want to unlock some advanced stuff early on, so that's why I got a second science building. With some of my science points, I built stairs going up, and I can build stuff on top of these houses. First thing that I build up there is a relaxation point. So when my beavers are looking to relax, they have a place to go and socialize with each other. So I'm producing a lot more food than last time, and that's requiring more storage. So I'm looking for more places to build that. I have the idea that advanced buildings are going to make things a lot easier for me. So I'm building planks and gears. This is my new gear workshop. And the idea is I'm going to start off building an advanced water storage area. The pine trees are popping up. The trees kind of go from really short to tall when they're all of a sudden ready. I don't know if that's just because the game is in early access or that's intended. So I'm actually purposely building houses near a ledge so that I can potentially build more things on top of them later. Chose a spot for my large water storage with the gears that I'll eventually be able to have that will create that. And you can see I've got a lot of food and I'm really wanting to concentrate on water actually. I've actually built an additional place for my beavers to be able to relax and socialize at night. So the second drought rather, I have a very healthy amount of food, but not so much with water. And I'm really hoping, at least for the next drought, my larger water storage will be completed. Or even just getting by this drought would be a nice thing too. I managed to survive. It was pretty close with water. However, my beavers are refilling the water tanks now. Hopefully next drought I'll be in a much healthier state than this one. So I switched to growing potatoes, and I discovered that this grill is needed to actually make the potatoes edible. That may have been one of the problems I had last game. So the potatoes I planted take a little bit longer than carrots. However, my beavers are collecting them, bringing them back. They're making their way to the grill and making grilled potatoes that my beavers actually prefer to eat over carrots or berries. So they'll be the first to be consumed, it seems. My advanced or larger water storage has been built, and I've got more water pumps. So I'm thinking the next drought I won't be under so much pressure to survive with a low amount of water. So I think this is going to be a game changer for me, and perhaps I'll even build a second one shortly. Just taking a moment to look at some grilled potatoes to be cooked. So not only does this take the potatoes, but I need a little bit of wood, so I'll make sure those wood supplies are strong. So my beavers are actually planting another round of potatoes. I don't know if they'll make it through the next drought or not, but I have the setting, I think it's the default setting, of having the beavers harvest things that are ready to grow rather than plant something new. I think that is the optimal setting from what I see. I've created some spiritual places for beavers to go and get connected to the world, I guess. So with more gears, I was able to create a large warehouse. I can store 1,000 things rather than the 100 that I can in the smaller storage. So this is going to allow me to store a lot of food, something I'm doing quite well in this playthrough. So I feel like I'm in a really good situation with this drought happening. Over 500 units of water, over 1,000 food. I'm actually looking quite well. So yeah, after that, I still have more than half amount of water and plenty of food. No problem with that drought. I'm starting to get the hang of this game and how to survive now. I'm experimenting with irrigation. So here it is, a irrigation tower. And the idea is the beavers are going to dump water there, and I'm assuming I'll be able to grow things in that location where I cannot at the moment because it's just too far from the river. Watching the first beaver dump a little water, and oh wow, that's a big zone. So I can grow trees and farming stuff in that area, which I could not before. Now that's going to require a big supply of water, so I'm putting a water storage between here and a pump that I've actually built in a closer area. So this surprised me, though I'm not actually sure why. This area can actually continue to grow even in a drought. Well, of course it can, because there's water there. It doesn't matter whether the rest of the world has a drought or not, it has water. I built a second place to produce planks, but I'm very excited about this. I didn't think this would work. I have two 1x3 bridges that I used to actually cross. I didn't think that was going to work, but I can actually access things I did not think were in reach. Taking advantage of my thing that I learned with irrigation, I have this set up over here, but I'm only going to turn it on during the drought section because it'll actually waste water when you don't need it, and you can turn it on and off. So it's going to be a little annoying turning it on and off, but it's going to allow me to grow all year round. I've used stairs over here to actually access a spot that I didn't have access to before. So here I am across the river taking advantage of the resources that is there. So I'm actually testing out my new irrigation system that I built in the farm area. I'm going to activate it. It was not wasting water during the normal season, but now that the drought has started, it has gone to drought mode, and I press play. I, of course, have to wait for one of the beavers to drop some water off, but the moment they do, everything has come to life. And now I'm growing potatoes during a drought season. Another thing I've learned is windmills. I can now actually produce planks and gears during the drought when my water wheel is not producing anything. Of course, it does have to be windy. So it is end of the drought season, so this farming area that is producing potatoes with irrigation tower can be disabled, so I'm not wasting water. I've actually built the largest warehouse over here required a good amount of gears for this, but I can store 4,000 items. So that's a lot of material, in particular food. So I'm going to be in a situation where beavers won't starve. So I am short gears for a lot of things. So I've built a lot of power, 2 water wheels, and now I have 2 places that produce gears. I've optimized my farming even more by building this beehive that allow it to grow faster. So this is going to be the last thing I experiment with in this playthrough. I've grown wheat on the other side of the river. I've actually ground it into wheat powder or flour, and I'm using that to make bread. So I have new type of food for my beavers.